Okay, this is the second part of Object 3 on Plate 5.32. We've went ahead and gotten the majority of the shape hammered out here. The next thing we have to do is to go ahead and identify where this rounded channel is. We've got to build this channel, and then we'll also have to go ahead and round these corners here on the prongs of this object. So anyway, getting back to the modeler there, well, I guess first thing is we got to note some dimensions. First of all, the channel here is 1, 2, 3/4 of an inch wide, and I see the depth of the channel. It stops. The end of this circle stops 1 inch from this vertical surface on the left. So let's go ahead and get some guidelines hammered out here with those reference points. So what I'm going to do here is get a guideline here set up for the center. So I'm just using the midpoint snap there with the blue dot. And I'm going to go ahead and drag a guideline back from this vertical surface here. We want to go 1 whole inch. And once we get in that position, that identifies the center of the object, and this identifies the end of the rounded channel. So the width of the channel, as we said earlier, was 3/4 of an inch from side to side. And so what we have to do, of course, if we're centering this, we need to put half of it on either side. So I take 3/4, divide it by 2, that gives me 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to drag this over 0.375, and I'm going to drag this over the same distance. So there's the width of the channel. Now the only thing that's really missing here is this half circle here for the rounded end of the channel. So as with any circle there, we need to figure out, even if it's a half circle, we need to figure out where the whole center is. So I know that the diameter of this hole is 3/4 of an inch. And then if that's true, then the radius of the hole, or the circle, is going to be 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to take my guideline tool. I'm going to snap it over to 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to pick up my circle tool. And I'm going to describe a circle right here at this position. And then all I have to do now is just go ahead and take some straight lines out. Like that. Now I still have half a circle to delete, so I'm going to take my erase tool, I'm going to delete half a circle, and then I'm going to use push-pull to go ahead and subtract this away. So we see that looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get rid of some of these extra lines. I like to get rid of those lines so they don't confuse me as I'm working. Alright, looking back on our drawing here, you can see we've got some rounded corners. These are what I call radiuses. They're part of a circle, 1/4 of a circle. And the way this works out, the radius of this circle is 1/4 of an inch. So what we're going to do to get set up for that is we're going to draw some guidelines in here. And we're going to draw some guidelines in from the front edge, 1/4 of an inch, so exactly 0.25. I'm going to draw another guideline in going the same distance, 0.25, and then a third guideline coming in from the back toward the front, 0.25. Now there's where the circle hole, or the circle center is. I need a couple of rounded spots here that look like quarter circles. So I'm going to introduce you to a new tool here. It's called a 2-point arc. And so it's just that tool there. The 2-point arc works like this. You click to the beginning of the arc and the end of the arc. And then I kind of change the radius of my arc here just by moving my cursor around. But what I'm interested in is tangent to edge. So I move this cursor along the edge here until I get tangent to edge note. And then I want to do the same to this side too. The beginning of the arc, end of the arc, and then tangent to edge. So once I get those in position, then it's a simple matter of just subtracting these things away using push-pull. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean up my guidelines there because we no longer need those. And a couple other things there. I want to view edge style, back edges, and I also want to do view hidden geometry. So that completes Object 3 of Plate 5.32. So good luck with your modeling.